This is the story of the cracks that grow flowers. It's an old story, one that people tell to children when they are very, very young. They say it to calm them down, to show them how even in hard times, there is always something beautiful waiting to happen. I remember when my grandmother told it to me. I was about 6 years old, and we were having tea in her garden. We didn't have much money, but we had the garden. It grew vegetables and herbs and flowers for us to enjoy. These are the cracks that contain potential, but also limitation. They may not be very wide, but they are very long. These are the cracks that require little effort, but a lot of sunlight. They are bottomless and directionless. These are the cracks that test your patience, strength, and faith. They seem to offer nothing but pain and suffering. At times like these, you must remember that every crack has the potential to become a flower, but it needs your help. They symbolize hope and joy after a long winter. They remind us that even in the harshest conditions, life finds a way to flourish. Their colors range from white to red, from blue to black. They remind us that beauty can be found in the most unexpected places. They have a simple but powerful message to help us remember what is important. They seem to have no beauty, no meaning, no hope. They remind us that sometimes life can be harsh, unfair, uncaring. Take a closer look and listen carefully. It may be trying to tell you something important. It may be waiting for you to do something extraordinary. Who knows? Maybe that crack is your chance to grow a flower. They also remind us that we are not immune to pain, suffering, loss. May the flowers in your cracks bloom brightly and fragrantly. And may your garden of life be filled with beauty, joy, and peace. Until next time, take care and remember, every crack has the potential to become a flower. But even in these cracks, there is always a possibility of growth, however small. If we bring new soil, water, and light, we can turn weeds into flowers. They remind us not to forget our loved ones, our promises, our dreams. Forget-me-nots are also associated with healing and peace, with their soft blue color that soothes the soul. They also remind us to look beyond appearances, because sometimes what seems insignificant can become precious. Wild roses are also associated with love and passion, with their thorny stems and deep red petals. They symbolize courage and remembrance. They remind us of the sacrifices made by those who fought for our freedom and the importance of honoring their memory. Poppies are also associated with sleep and dreams, with their delicate petals that close at night and open again with the dawn. Dandelions are also associated with children, with their innocence and spontaneity. They bring laughter and wonder to our lives. Bring soil, water, and light to the crack and trust that a flower will bloom. Even if you don't see it immediately, it doesn't mean it's not happening. Sometimes the seed needs time to germinate, to grow roots, to push through the darkness and reach the light. Other times the seed needs to be replanted, to be given another chance, to be planted in a different season. Don't lose faith in the crack, even if it seems to offer nothing but thorns and stones. What kind of flowers do you want to grow in them? Are they dandelions, poppies, roses, forget-me-nots, or something else entirely? How will you care for them? Will you bring soil, water, and light, or will you let them wither away? Remember that every crack is a choice, a decision, an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you. Bring forth beauty to the crack, and it will reward you with flowers. They are ideal for small joys in life, such as reading a good book, spending time with friends, or eating your favorite dessert. Some are colorful and fragrant, while others are simple and discreet. But all of them are beautiful in their own way. All of them teach us something about ourselves and about the world around us. In these cases, you don't need to bring any soil or water. Just enjoy the view and soak up the light. These are the cracks that can accommodate large plants, but only if you fill them with fertile soil. This means that you cannot water them with your tears or the sweat of your brow. Instead, you must carry rich soil and plant with care. For example, this type of crack is perfect for a major change in your life, such as changing jobs, moving to another city or country, or even getting married. If you take the time to fill it with the right soil, the plant will grow strong and tall. They may seem vast and deep, but they are not infinite. They have boundaries. This means that they are suitable for growing small plants, but not big ones. Do not make the mistake of sowing large seeds in small cracks, because no matter how fertile the soil, the plant will quickly exhaust all the available space and die. So pay attention to the size of the crack. If it is small, don't waste your time on large projects. Instead, find small seeds that will fit in it, such as caring for yourself or planting a new habit. And it was there that my grandmother showed me the cracks in the pavement. It requires experience and wisdom to understand the language of cracks, to see what lies beneath their rough surface. You need to know how to look and how to listen. Once you've learned how, every crack will speak to you and reveal its secrets. She pointed out how those cracks, instead of being ugly and useless, would in a few days be filled with yellow dandelions and bright red poppies. From then on, whenever life got tough, I remembered my grandmother's words. When I saw a crack in the road or the wall, I imagined how it might one day be filled with colour. In reality, however, this does not happen to all cracks. Some remain empty, some fill up with dirt, and others grow weeds that are far from beautiful. The truth is that it all depends on the type of crack. There are cracks that break your heart, and there are cracks that bring forth beauty, just like people. Some can hurt you deeply, while others can heal you completely. But how do you know which is which? Which crack will bring forth beauty, and which will only bring pain? Well, the answer to this question is not so easy to find. For example, there are cracks that seem endless, and yet if you look closely, you will see that they end in a certain place. But there are other cracks that go deep into the ground. And then there are the cracks that seem to touch the sky. They are very wide, but not very deep. There are also cracks that seem to have no end either in width or depth. Each type of crack has its own rhythm, its own way of growing and blooming. Some crack flowers appear quickly, while others take their time. For example, there are cracks that bloom with dandelions, which are the first flowers of spring. Poppies are another type of crack flower that appears in the spring, but they last longer into the summer. Then there are the wild roses that grow in the cracks. Their flowers are small but fragrant. There are also cracks that bloom with forget-me-nots, which are small blue flowers with a white center. And finally, there are the cracks that grow nothing but weeds. Now I want to ask you, what kind of cracks do you have in your life? Are they full of potential, depth, width, or endless? So next time you see a crack, don't ignore it or step on it. Thank you for watching and listening.